Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Brew Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck. And like we always do, we always invite people to come on the show. So there may be a guest appearance from someone, maybe or maybe not. Like that time we had a fun guest appearance from Harry. Or, Ian, he likes to come on the show sometimes. So, someone may or may not come on the show. If not, there's always next time. But anyways, we have a lot of stuff going on in the Blue Jackets world to talk about. The Blue Jackets have played 3 games since our last show. They took 2 out of 3. They lost to Ottawa, but then they beat the Dallas Stars 1-0, and the Blue Jackets beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 8-5. A lot of good moments in those games. We're going to talk about it. Mason Marchment gets a hat trick, and it was awesome. He's been playing really good for the Blue Jackets, and we're going to talk about that. Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith scored a goal. Who plays for Penn State. We're going to show that off. Big Ten hockey standings. Going to show that off. And so much more. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Welcome in, everyone. Hope everyone has had a warm and safe week. Right now, there's like a foot of snow outside my door. I don't know how it is like south of here. I'm a little bit more northeast of Columbus, but yeah. Good luck, everyone out there. It's pretty rough. But yeah, anyway, if we go live on YouTube and Twitter every week, but we also are a podcast. If you want to listen to us, you can check us out on Spotify, Google, YouTube, anywhere there are podcasts, we are there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We don't really have any sponsors. That's not our goal with this. So the best way you can help support us is by liking or sharing or, just viewing our stuff. We appreciate it. Am I missing anything here, Kev?
Oh, of course. I got to do my little quick thing here.
But yeah, big shout out to our audio listeners. It's been really picking up these last few episodes. I mean, we knew that the episode after Everson was fired was going to pick up pretty heavy. That was, that's been quite the change so far. The Blue Jackets are like what 5-1, 5-1-0 under Rick Bowness.
5-1.
5-1.
6 games, they won 5 of them. So anyway, that's pretty cool. All right, yeah. Like I always do, one last thing for me before we get going here. Don't forget, check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed fan group that I run. We do marches to cheer on the Blue Jackets and so much more. A lot of fun stuff. So check out Union Blue Soldiers.
Do it.
All right. As we always do, we always like to start things off with a more appetizer before we really kind of get into like the big stuff. And so to start things off, the Blue Jackets recently had a season ticket holder event where you can meet the players, you can get an autograph from a Blue Jackets player, you can get a picture with the Blue Jackets player, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff that you can do. And the Blue Jackets posted this all over social media, a little video of kind of what was it like at the season ticket holder event. So I'm going to put that video up on the screen and we're going to show that off. So here we go. So I'm going to put it up on the screen. So I'm going to play the video. We have some different pictures from the season ticket holder event. Here we have Charlie Coyle, Zach Aston Reese, Denton Heinen, and then Cole Sillinger, Sean Monahan, and who is? I got the video on my iPad here. See if I can. Oh, who is that here? Oh, Miles Wood. That's Miles Wood on the far right, on the right. So Cole Sillinger, Sean Monahan, and Miles Wood. So that's cool. And we got Brandon Gaunce. We got Adam Fantilli signing some autographs. Looks like we got Jake Christensen over there. Let's see, Matthew Olivier and Mason Marchment. And we got Brandon Smith and Zach Wierenski. So that's cool. That's a cool little video that the Blue Jackets did. They're showing what was it like at the season ticket holder event. So anything to say about this, Hefty Dog?
No, I just like that Brendan Gaunce is signing what looks to be a child's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle hockey jersey. I love that.
I'll
That's
back this up. No, that was remember that Stinger Kids Takeover Day jersey?
Oh, it is the Stinger one? So I saw the thing on the back. It looked like a shell or something. I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the front patch. Oh, okay. Anyway. I see it now. I love that. Anyway, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I like it more than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So I'll play this one more time and we'll move on to the next thing. Harry, our good friend Harry, he was at the season ticket holder event because he has season tickets to the Blue Jackets. So he was there and he had a great time. So that's cool. That's got music. So next up, so Kirill Marchenko's wife posted on her Instagram page where it's a video of Kirill Marchenko and his wife, I guess, doing something with their cat. So we'll play that.
Почему еще такой свет лица разный?
Иди сюда.
Иди к нам.
Алекс.
Смотри, что он тут делает. Алекс.
That's hilarious. Oh, I thought we were going to take the final picture of them with all three of their heads stacked like the cat.
Почему еще такой свет лица
Иди
разный?
сюда.
That's funny.
Иди к нам.
Алекс.
Смотри, что он тут делает. Алекс.
Cat definitely knows they're talking to it. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know what they're saying because they're speaking Russian, but they're doing stuff with their cat. So there you go. So anything to say about this, Hefty Dog?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Now we do like to play goals here. So Ohio State hockey had a 2-game series against Notre Dame this past weekend, and they scored a goal that I really like. So I'm going to play that goal and put that up on the screen. So we got guy right-handed shot on the right side of the ice. Most people probably would have just, maybe skated around the net or maybe just could have quick shot on goal. He didn't do that, and he made a pass across the crease, cross-ice pass, and they scored. But what makes it even harder is that it's a left-handed shot on the left side of the ice, and you could tell that it's a very awkward angle for him to get the puck, and it's a hard shot, but yet he finds a way to do it. So I'm going to play this goal. All right, you see, look at that. Left-handed shot on the left side of the ice. Kind of an awkward angle. Very hard for him to get that puck. He has a guy right on him, and he still finds a way to score. So that's pretty good for you to be left-handed shot on the left side of the ice. It's kind of an awkward angle for you to get that puck. Much harder for you to shoot, and you kind of have a guy right on you, and you still find a way to do it.
It's a crazy pass to make it the whole way across the ice that far.
Yeah.
Like it's damn near it's from circle to circle. That guy's on the right side of the dot. Passing to a dude just skating through the dot right now.
Yeah.
And yet slaps it home. Pretty slick.
Right. Look at that. He has a guy right on him, and he left-handed shot on the left side of the ice. It's kind of he's bent over. That's kind of an awkward angle for him. Harder shot. And he still finds a way to get it. Like, if this is a guy if he's a right-handed shot on the left side of the ice, that's an easy goal. It's not even close. But left-handed shot, left side of the ice, guy right on him, kind of an awkward angle. That's what makes it a hard shot to score on. And he still finds a way to do it. So, pretty good goal there for Ohio State. They did win this game 4-2, so that is good. Minor nitpick is that they lost Notre Dame, and then they had a game on Saturday against Notre Dame. And going into that game, Notre Dame was 0-13 in Big Ten play. 0-13, that is really bad. And Ohio State got smoked 6-1. Like, come on now, man.
Damn.
Like, don't get smoked by a team. Don't get smoked 6-1 by a team that was 0-13 in the Big Ten this season. Like, come on now. Like, if you would have lost to, like, Minnesota or Michigan or something like that, I would be like, yeah, I get it. They're historically good at hockey. They always put together a good hockey team, so I get it. But come on now. Why are you losing to a team that was 0-13 in the Big Ten this season? Just come on now. That's besides the point. But good goal here for Ohio State. And anyways, speaking of the Big Ten, how about some Big Ten hockey standings? So, as of right now, we'll zoom in so you can see it more. Let's see here. All right, so up top, Michigan is first place in the Big Ten, 31 points, 11-3. Penn State, second place, 10-4 with 31 points. Michigan State is third place, 10-4 with 30 points. Wisconsin, fourth place. They have 22 points at 8-6. Minnesota, this is surprising. They are fifth place. They're 4-10 in the Big Ten with 14 points. Ohio State, sixth place. They have 12 points, and they're 4-8 in the Big Ten. And, oh, God, yikes. Notre Dame, just god-awful. 4 points in the Big Ten, and they're 1-13 in the Big Ten. Oh my
Damn.
goodness. You know what? It happens. Sometimes it's just not your year. And this year, it's not Notre Dame's year in the Big Ten. Just
And that's not like the entire NCAA hockey. That is just the Big Ten, but like still like that that's where you gotta get those wins. That's
Yeah.
so that's damn.
no,
Get
because
on top again.
no, it's just like what with like the Blue Jackets. Like when you got this is essentially your division games right here, and you got to get these wins because that's going to help make a big difference towards the end of the season when you're trying to get into the NCAA tournament. And for Notre Dame, you are not helping yourself when you're going 1-13 in the Big Ten. It's just yuck. But so throwing that one out there. So as of right now, Ohio State not very good in the Big Ten, 4-8. But hey, at least they're not Notre Dame. At least they're not 1-13 in the Big Ten. Yikes! And as not surprising that Michigan is up top because they're consistently good at hockey and always produce top talent. The Blue Jackets are a perfect example of that. Some of their best players are, Michigan guys like Kent Johnson, Adam Fantilli, and Zach Werenski. So, anyways, that's your little Big Ten hockey talk right there. Now, Dmitry Voronkov scored a goal against the Lightning yesterday, and the Blue Jackets posted a picture from when Voronkov scored a goal. He's walking by the bench, giving everyone like a little high five, fist bumps. And if you pay closely attention to this picture, you see Adam Fantilli squirting Dmitry Voronkov with a water bottle. So just think that was kind of an interesting picture there that we have Adam Fantilli squirting Dmitry Voronkov with a water bottle. Yeah, muted. Hefty Duck's muted.
Damn, what ad placement? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What ad placement
Yeah.
for ADS right there, Advanced Drainage Systems. That's prime. Getting your ads right in front of the boards. Of course, there's going to be a bunch of pictures there.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, though. Pretty damn funny.
So, one last thing before we get going to the games is that if, at the season ticket holder event that the Blue Jackets had, they gave away a cool season ticket holder gift, which is basically a replica of Nationwide Arena.
Damn, that's cool. That's pretty cool, actually. It's what Nationwide without the roof, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's pretty funny.
Like there's the ice house right there that's connected to it, and it even has like a little cannon in it,
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So throwing that one out there. All right then. So we've done enough of the more fun appetizer sort of stuff. So now we're gonna get into the more important stuff, and that is the games and other stuff that have happened with the Blue Jackets. So we start off with the game that the Blue Jackets played against Ottawa. And for me, that was a 2 out of 10 game. And I'll tell you why that was a 2 out of 10 game. It was a 2 out of 10 game because a majority of that game, the Blue Jackets were god-awful. They just decided to not really show up that game. They played terrible. They just kind of had this attitude that, like, if I just show up to the game, I'm going to win. And it's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't just show up to the game and expect to win. you do that, you're going to lose. And that is exactly what happened. The Blue Jackets just thought that they could just show up to that game and win, and you can't do that. And you get the results that you got, which is you played terrible and you lose. Now, I said 2 out of 10. I didn't say 0 out of 10, because that would mean that there was nothing. If it's 0 out of 10, nothing went well. However, though, 2 out of 10, because there were some things that the Blue Jackets did good in that game, even if they played terrible 99% of that game. What did they do well that earns them that 2 out of 10 instead of a 0 out of 10? I'll tell you. So, the Blue Jackets get a big goal from Sean Monahan. So they get that. And it continues what they've been doing recently is as soon as they get the puck, they're aggressive with it and putting it on the net. And if you don't score, work your ass off, out-hustle the opponent, and go get that puck again and shoot it again. And that mindset, that aggressive style of play, the Blue Jackets have been rewarded with more goals because of that. And that is what happened on the Sean Monahan play. They had a good shift in the offensive zone. They had a couple shots. They didn't score, but eventually they make a good play to Sean Monahan, shoot, score. No screwing around, no BS, no overpassing. And he scores. So there's that. And then the 3 power plays. The Blue Jackets, they had 3 power plays. They did not score on any of the 3 power plays, but you looked as good as you possibly could on a power play without scoring a goal. They played really good. They had some really good chances to score. They just couldn't put it away. And then, other than that, it was just terrible because there were 2 goals that you gave up 2 quick goals in the first period. The first one, okay, Elvis Merzlikins, that's a gimme. You got to have that one. No, the second one. The first one, you're not helping Elvis Merzlikins. You screened him. He can't really see it, and you screened him. You can't do that. You either block the shot or you get out of the way so he can see it. You didn't either. You didn't block the shot, and you didn't get out of the way. And because of that, you get scored on of what a goal that easily could have been preventable. But you didn't do that. The second goal, that's one Elvis has got to have. He wasn't set, wasn't positionally set, and then he lets one through, and not good. So, and it's just And then there's just other goals that they scored. It was just lazy. It's just not very good defense. You're just not really helping out the goal here because Jet Greaves had to go in, not because Elvis Merzlikins got pulled because of the Blue Jackets didn't like how he played. He got pulled because, sick. I guess he wasn't feeling very good. And, we got to be honest with ourselves here. This is not the first time that this has happened with Elvis Merzlikins. I don't even mean this in a disrespectful way, but the truth is you have to wonder what's really going on there because this keeps happening with Elvis Merzlikins over the last couple seasons here, where for whatever reason, we don't know why, where he's playing in the game and then he just leaves because he's sick or something's wrong. And it just makes me wonder, what's going on there, man? Are you doing okay? I hope you are. But, we just can't keep having that happen. Because that was supposed to be an off day for Jet Greaves, and then we had to play him. And you're kind of putting Jet Greaves at a kind of disadvantage there because then he has to kind of have to come in cold because when you're the starting goalie, you do warm-ups and most of the shots come at you. Yes, in warm-ups, the backup goalie will take some reps, and most of the time you're not really doing anything in warm-up stuff like skating and getting yourself loose and a bunch of other stuff. So, like, essentially, Jack Creeves kind of came into the game cold and kind of at a disadvantage. So, Elvis Merzlikins, I kind of hope you're doing okay there. But we can't keep having this thing where, like, you're playing a game and then you leave for some reason because you're sick or whatnot, because it's not good for you. It does not help you out, and it does not help the Blue Jackets out. So I just kind of hoping everything's okay, and I just wonder what is going on there, because we can't keep have that happening. The Blue Jackets can't keep have that. They can't have that happen again and again. They just can't. And so overall, 2 out of 10 game, where most of the game you looked terrible, some good moments, but it was just not very good. You just was terrible, not good. It needs to be better. 2 out of 10.
Yeah, this is a pretty rough one to watch. A couple of things I want to point out. Some statistics to kind of back up this rating. Ottawa scored 4 goals and had 21 shots on goal. The Blue Jackets scored 1 goal and had 22 shots on goal. So same amount of shots, but whatever Ottawa was doing was creating space and opening up gaps, and literally Blue Jackets working against themselves sometimes too.
Oh, yeah.
One of the big things in this matchup that I noticed was Ottawa was on top with almost 60% of the faceoffs. That's a pretty wide gap. 59.6% of the faceoffs were won by Ottawa. Both teams were 0-for-3 in the power play, so good PK, bad power play. I don't know. It seems weird. It always seems like it's one or the other, which whatever. At least he didn't let him score on the power play. I did like to see how they kind of fought through this. That first goal, though, Voronkov definitely just kind of screened Merzlikins. Oh yeah. So I don't know if this is kind of like like a bonus thing or like a frustration thing or whatever. Because I'm gonna bring this up a couple more times tonight with other games. The Blue Jackets had 27 hits to Ottawa's 15. That's also a pretty wide margin. Sometimes you'll see a team has like 20 hits and their team will have like 10, 15. Like that's decent margin, but like when it's 12 more hits, it kind of shows the frustration from the one team. The goal from Monahan was a very nice pass to another to a great position. Boone Jenner did not have to look up. As he's going for the puck, you see him do like a slight quick glance like over his shoulder, but like where his line of sight was, he might have heard Monahan, but he did not see him. So when he turned with the pass, the first time that he actually gets a view of where Monahan is after his stick is up after passing. It was up like off the ice, already passed over there. So he just knew Monahan in the right place at the right time, calling for it. That was absolutely sick. That is where you get any points for this game at all, was because of a really cool goal that I liked. Yeah, I really think that the next goal, it was Tim Stützle. He scored in the 5-hole on Merzlikins, and if you rewatch the replay, this is where it does seem to look like Elvis was not feeling himself or something was up or I don't know what. Many fans have speculated, and I myself, if there was like some sort of stomach issue that, I have IBD, I totally get it. that can take you out, especially if you're a pro athlete needing to perform at your absolute peak 100% of the time, exactly the same way every time. I understand how you would that, but I feel like by now this is like the third season of this. It didn't used to be that big of a deal. I don't think I didn't really notice, or maybe he just wasn't played as much. But yeah, it's the third season of this, and you think if it was like Crohn's disease or something like that, like they would just be like, he's got Crohn's, he tries to manage it the best he can, but can't. But like, there's going to be flare ups from time to time or something like that. I don't know. It took me years to fully get what I'm dealing with under control. Years. Because it's such a crazy lifestyle change. So I get that people would speculate that. I totally get it. But I feel like, wouldn't we know by now? Don Waddell did say that he wants to keep a lot of injury-related news a lot more under wraps. This was last season. He had spoken about that. So I don't know that we'll ever find out what's truly going on until, I don't know, after Merzlikins is no longer with the Blue Jackets. I feel like we'll find out or something.
It's going to be like one of those things we'll probably find out like 20 years from now. Oh, yeah, he had that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So honestly, I think that he should have had that goal. Merzlikins. They were really putting the pressure on Stützle and chasing around the goal. He had an awkward shot.
Yeah.
Shit happens. So for the final, the final goal that wasn't an empty net goal from Ridley Gregg, Heinen pushed and turned the wrong way from the puck. And although he was put in a tight spot, I think that he thought he was in a 2v1 or a 3v1, but he was in a 2v2 or 3v2 situation. I don't know that he realized there was another defenseman over his left shoulder. And simply, if he would have spun the other way and laid down to block a potential shot, I think that would have possibly solved that problem. It's a tough ask. It's a hard thing to do. I don't want to fucking do that. Hell no. Even with a helmet, imagine getting hit in the head with the puck going 80 miles an hour. But yeah, lay low and pray. That's simple. I don't know. It was also kind of a turnover from number 8, Big Z himself, the man, the 57 points in 44 games man. Unfortunately, mistakes happen to the best, and that's all there really is to it. I think that's all the notes I really have from that game. It's kind of a shit show. Especially sucks that happened at home on home ice.
Yeah.
So I get the frustration. I get the 27 hits to 15. I totally get it.
All right. So, anyways, on to the next game. The Blue Jackets played against the Dale Stars. They get a big win, 1-0. That was a 9 out of 10 game for me, and I'll tell you why. So, the Blue Jackets get a big goal from Zach Werenski. And I really like this goal because this is a goal that the Blue Jackets really earned, and it's really more to what Rick Bowness wants with the Blue Jackets, is that if you have the puck in the offensive zone, you need to put the puck on the net. And if you don't score, go get the puck, out hustle the opponent, outwork them, go get the puck again, and keep it in the offensive zone and keep the pressure on. And that's exactly what the Blue Jackets did. A couple good chances to score, couldn't get it done. The Stars tried to get it out. They can't get it out. Damon Severson with a good keep-in to keep the puck in the offensive zone. He gets it over to Zach Werenski, and Werenski quickly shoots the puck and scores. I said this last week, and I'll say it again. the Blue Jackets are doing something that I like. There have been games this season that the Blue Jackets have been very guilty of looking for that perfect play and overpassing the puck way too much, and then the puck gets picked off, it goes the other way, and then you get nothing. Nothing. You had a good chance to score, and then you get nothing because you passed the puck way too much. They did not do that. Zach Werenski, as soon as he got that puck, shoot, score. No overpassing BS. So good play there by the Blue Jackets to earn that goal. And the Blue Jackets, you know what? They had offensively, they played pretty good as well as you can. They didn't score any other goals. Good chances to put it away. Couldn't get it done, but they still played really good. But what really stands out about this game, where the Blue Jackets really shined, is that was one of the best defensive games they played all season long. Like 9 times out of 10 during that game, generally speaking, the Blue Jackets did not give Dallas much to shoot at. There were good chunks in that game where the Stars would have the puck in their offensive zone, and they would just be skating and skating and skating around the offensive zone, passing the puck, trying to find a place to shoot it, but they couldn't because it wasn't there. The Blue Jackets were playing really good defense. They did not really give the Stars much to shoot at. And then in the event that 1 time out of 10 happened where there was something to shoot at, Jack Greaves was there to make a big save to keep the Blue Jackets in the game. But the third period, from a defensive standpoint, that is really where the Blue Jackets shined. That is where they really stepped up and played a really good game defensively. They just really didn't give Dallas anything to shoot at, especially when the Stars pulled the goalie 6-on-5. That's like, oh boy, I hope they don't score.
And it's the third period.
And yeah. You're like, yeah, no, you're right, Hefty Duck. You're right. You're right, Hefty Duck. It's like, oh boy, they pulled the goalie. I hope they don't score. And it's the third period. And the Blue Jackets haven't been very good with leads in the third period this season. So you're like, oh boy. Oh God, I hope they don't score. But that was like legit, like the best 6-on-5 hockey that the Blue Jackets have played all season long, because the Stars, for 99% of the time in the offensive zone that they had on the 6-on-5, they weren't shooting it because there was nowhere to shoot it. It was just pass, skate around the offensive zone, trying to find somewhere to shoot it. And they couldn't. They could not find a place to shoot it. They had like 1 or 2 chances to shoot. Otherwise, they were just, there was nowhere to shoot. They were skating around the offensive zone, pass, trying to find somewhere to shoot it, and they couldn't find a place to shoot it because the Blue Jackets were playing that good defense on 6-on-5. It was just that good. That was the best 6-on-5 defense the Blue Jackets have done all season long. It was just like, wow. It was just that good. I got to be honest with myself here. I was really close to giving that game a 10 out of 10. I was. But for me personally, maybe it's being greedy. Maybe it's being a little nitpicky here. But if you want to, if you want 10 out of 10 from me, you got to score more than 1 goal to get 10 out of 10. Like, I'm generally speaking, I'm not going to give 10 out of 10 if you just score 1 goal. So, like, if the Blue Jackets had played that same game and they won it like 3-4-0, then hell yeah, I'm giving that game 10 out of 10. But they only had 1, so it's like 9 out of 10. But everything else besides that, the Blue Jackets played a really good game. One of the best games they played all season long. one of the best games they played defensively all season long. That game against the Kings where they played 3-1 was also one of the best games they played defensively. So, really good game. Really good game. One of the best games he played defensively all season long. Overall, pretty good game there that the Blue Jackets did. 9 out of 10 game. Nicely done, Blue Jackets.
Yeah, very well played. Well played to the point where the third star of the night had 0 points. I just had to bring it up because I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, I think he only had 1 shot on goal, but I think he had 2 blocks, 1 hit, and yeah, that's Charlie Coyle. He was third star of the night for, I think, having 2 blocks and a shot. I don't know. Like, damn. Because to be fair, Dallas's goalie.
Yeah.
To be fair, they stopped 27 to 28 shots. What was that? Casey Smith? Yeah. So I'll talk about how I felt about these goals. I mean, goal. And I'll talk about why I loved this game. It was a chess match. This was a absolute 9 out of 10 for me as well. Yeah, 10 out of 10 game for me. You would have to be pretty impeccable all over the board. We rate a lot of games pretty high, but like it's hard to get that perfect score. What maybe could have got them there for me personally, in my opinion. Well, one thing that annoyed the absolute piss out of me was in the first period, the too many men penalty. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. That is. I'm trying to not do the SpongeBob quote where he's like, "It's first grade, SpongeBob," but like that's what I feel right now.
Yeah.
It's first grade, and it happens. It's happened in playoff games. It happens with good teams, bad teams, anyone. But I feel like there's been a lot more of those calls this year. Maybe the refs are cracking down on it. Maybe they are worse about it. I don't know. You just gotta watch yourself. I don't even remember who all was involved with that, but dude, what a shot by Z. He warped that puck around a guy. He knuckle pucked that thing because he's right-handed shot shooting from the right side to the left side of the defenseman blocking the shot, and then I'm sorry, to the right side. Okay, fuck. Let me describe this. Renski was shooting to the left side of the player, his left side of the player, not the player's left side, the player's right side. Okay. Anyway, I can't believe he snaked it in there. To be fair, I think maybe the Smith might have been a little bit screened for that, but even still, he was going for it, and it went in so cleanly, amazingly. Oh yeah, I guess one thing I forgot to mention for the last game, because I always try to do this. So that was the season series against the Ottawa Senators. That was 2 games out of 2. Blue Jackets lost both of them. They won't meet them again for the rest of the season. So here too with
2 out of 3.
Dallas and Columbus.
Ottawa took 2 out of 3.
Oh yeah, they won the season series. Blue Jackets won 2 out of 2 right now against the Dallas Stars. The first game they won 5-1 back in October. So Dallas was going to be coming back into this game hard, looking back at that tape, wondering what the hell happened. But boom, now you got to go up against a new coach. So whatever is working out there is working. Zach Werenski gets the first star of the game with 1 goal, 1 point. Jack Greaves, second star of the game, no goals against. And Charlie Coyle's listed as the third. No goals, no assists, no points. Hell yeah, brother.
It was his 1,000th game that night.
I need to turn you up a little bit here.
Yep. That was.
I got one more thing about this game. So, remember last game I was talking about the hits? Okay,
Yeah.
so Dallas had 7 hits. The Columbus Blue Jackets had 35 hits. 35. That is a pretty high number for any game. But to me, it's extraordinarily high when the other team has 7. Like, excuse me? Are y'all okay? Blue Jackets also had 17 block shots, so that's huge. That's what I was talking about with last game. You got to lay it out there. And I feel like maybe that's what Bones said back there. Never mind. That's for the next game we're about to talk about. Yeah, that's all I got for that game. 9 out of 10. Good game. Amazing playing. Zach Werenski, undefeatable.
So, one last thing. Charlie Coyle had his 1,000th NHL game that game. So that's cool. Shout out to Charlie Coyle.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, on to the next game. The Blue Jackets beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 8-5. That's a 7 out of 10 for me, and I'll tell you why. You gave up 5 goals. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose if you give up 5 goals. You just are. You cannot give up 5 goals. This is the one time out of 10 that the Blue Jackets won giving up 5 goals. Why? Because time and time again, in the last 2 seasons, the Blue Jackets have proved time and time again that they are good at scoring goals. There's games that the Blue Jackets win because they're good at scoring goals. Where, yeah, maybe they give up, 2, 3, 4 goals, but then they'll score like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals, so on and so forth. And that's what happened, is that the Blue Jackets, they had an 8 out of 10 first period. They gave up 2 goals, but they also scored 4. And a 4-goal first period is basically a big reason why you win that game. Now, realistically, you should have been led in 4-0 after that period. But you have 2 mistakes. The first one is a brain fart mistake by Jet Greaves. Like, I don't get this. Like, why are you... Okay, goalies play the puck, and I get that. And there are some benefit to that. I understand that. When done correctly, it is beneficial to your team. Because a team could try and dump the puck in and try and go get it and try and set something up offensively off the cycle. And a goalie could get the puck and he could put a stop to that, and he passes it to one of his guys, then you get it out of there, and then the team doesn't have any offense anymore. You put a stop to that. So I understand that. This is one of those times that he should have never, ever, 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 ever should have done that. Not even come close to thinking about that. Because puck gets dumped in, and he tries to, play the puck, and he's right by his net, and he passes it up the middle of the ice, which is stupid to begin with. Don't do that. And the puck bounces off of the skate of Isaac Lundestrom and goes in. And it's like, what are we doing here? Just no. Don't do that. Don't give away freebie goals like that. Just don't. You did it anyways, but don't do that. That's just no. Just no. And then the second goal, because you give up a penalty and you don't get it out. You had multiple chances to get it out, and you don't get it out. And then this is another one, I think, in my opinion, Jet Greaves, you got to have this one. because you see it on the replay. He has it. The puck bounces off the glove, and it goes in the net. Like, oh, man, you had it there. You got to make that save there. And he didn't, and puck bounces off the glove and goes in. So, like, that's 2 freebies right there that you should not have happened. The Blue Jackets should have been up 4-0 after the first period, but you give them 2 freebies. Oh, well. But flip side of that, you score 4 goals in the first period, and it's really good. You get goals from Cole Sillinger, and you get, Mason Marchment. And Mason Marchment again. No, I'm sorry. Adam Fantilli got the 3rd goal. And then Dmitry Voronkov. Shortly after that, like the 2 goals to make it 3-2, 4-2, that was over less than a minute between each goal. So that minus the 2 goals, pretty good first period. We go to the second period, and no. You had chances to put it away to make it the lead bigger. You can't do that. And defensively, it was terrible. What the heck was that garbage? Stupid, idiotic nonsense. 2 quick goals because you're not playing too good defense, and now it's tied up at 4. Just no. Stupid, idiotic nonsense. Don't do that. But you did. And now, instead of winning 4-2, it's tied up at 4-4. But you do get 2 big goals there to make it 6-4. You get a big goal from Mason Marchment to make it 5-4. Then you get another goal to make it 6-4 on the power play from Charlie Coyle. And Charlie Coyle, again, it's just more directness. Puck's on net. No screwing around, no BS. He gets the puck on the side of the net, and most people probably would have passed that puck. Try something different. He didn't do that. He shot the puck, and he jammed it in there. Score. So now you're up 6-4 after 2. Minus giving up the 4 goals, you played a pretty good game there. You get a big goal from Sean Monahan to make it 7-4, which I still don't understand to this day. It was just a little over 5 minutes to go in the game. The Lightning had a brain fart moment, and they pulled their goalie way too early, and they get scored on. And now, they do pull their goalie late in the game, and they do get a goal at 7-5. But if you didn't pull the goalie earlier on, now it's 6-5. And it's, good chance better ball game for you. Maybe you come back, but you kind of dug yourself a hole there. And then they pull the goal, so the Lightning scored 7-5. They pull the goalie again, and the Blue Jackets get a big goal from Mason Marchment to complete the hat trick. Mason Marchment getting the hat trick. It was awesome. He's played a real good game there with the Blue Jackets, and he's played really good with the Blue Jackets overall since coming to the Blue Jackets. So good, so fun to watch. So, minus giving up the 5 goals, the Blue Jackets played a pretty good game there. So, when you score 8 goals, that's good. And the Blue Jackets have scored time and time again the last 2 seasons that they're good at scoring goals. So if you give the Blue Jackets a chance to score a goal, that's a bad idea because they're going to put the puck in the net. So minus giving up the 5 goals, the Blue Jackets played a pretty good game there. They scored 8 goals, which is awesome. 7 out of 10. Nicely done, Blue Jackets.
Yeah, I would agree with that. 7 out of 10. It was a win, but it was kind of a sloppy win. At the end of the day, everyone knows the quote. They don't ask how, they ask how many. So can't dog on them too hard for winning. But damn. Yeah. Mistakes happen. But damn. Okay, first of all, I guess let me backtrack to let's talk about some stats before I get to the goals. Yeah, both were 1 for 2 on the power play. That's the way she goes. 31 shots to 30 shots. Blue Jackets had one more shot on goal. Just put them away easier. Now, here's another game where the face-off percentage is wildly skewed 60-40. This time, the Lightning lost, but in the previous game, it was 60-40. The previous loss against Ottawa, it was pretty much 60-40 then too. So that's something that's going to need to be addressed and worked on, I'm sure. You just gotta do better than that. I'm not sure. Well, okay, we'll talk about this here a little bit later on about why this possibly happened as well, because there might not be certain people in there taking the face-offs all the time as much right now. Penalties even. Hits were a bit more even now. Blue Jackets been blocking shots left and right, putting it on the line. Tampa Bay just couldn't stop turning it over. 8 or 9 players? The 9 players got a point in this game?
Just the first line alone had a 9-point night.
Yeah, that's insane. I think that's the stat I was confusing it with. Yeah, absolutely crazy night for Mason Marchment. 3 goals, 1 assist. And yeah, we'll talk about him a lot more here in a little bit as well. But let me go over some of the goals real quick. Sillinger starting it off strong with a wrist shot. Just nice shot overall. Love to see it. The first goal that the Tampa Bay Lightning ended up scoring, it was credited to Jake Gensel unassisted because, as Kevin was describing, Jet Greaves got the puck and went to go pass it out from the crease, and it caught the skate of a Blue Jackets and just bounced right back in. It was rough. It wasn't even like he passed it to another player, like on the other team, and they scored. It was passed. It hit his own player's skate and went in. So shit happens, but damn, that's how I feel about that. Yeah. So when was that? That was second period. Okay. We'll talk about that when we get there. Mason Marchment with his first goal. Pretty sick. I actually don't have too much. With the goals. Anyway, so a couple things I wanted to note about this. Adam Fantilli was great on staying on the puck for his goal. Basically, he got his own rebound. He didn't quite get his own rebound, but it bounced around the puck. He stayed in where he needed to stay and got a second chance in that shot. Put it away. Did what he needed to do. The power play goal that happened from Darren Radish, honestly, I thought the Blue Jackets played their penalty kill pretty well there. It was a pretty damn good shot. They held their formation. They pressured the puck when needed. It looks better visually. The eye test. Unfortunately, Darren Radish did put one away here, but damn, it was pretty close. That could also be prevented had there not been was that for the tripping call?
Yeah. Move your feet, skate,
Yeah,
skate,
that was for the tripping call.
Skate, move your feet, skate, move your feet.
Talk about Voronkov more here in a minute too, because that's one of the things that we've been kind of harping on the last.
You don't get called if you move your feet and you're skating, but if you don't move your feet and you're just standing there and you don't skate, you're going to get called. So that needs to be fixed. But anyways, that's besides the point.
Yeah. So Nikita Kucherov, anytime he has the puck, it's going to be dangerous. I believe, was that the one where he went glove side, just boop, right up in there. So Anthony Cirelli tied the game 4-4, second period. And Mason Marchment, So I want to talk about this goal a little bit. So this one happens after there was a bit of a skirmish out on the ice. So the skirmish involved mainly Mason Marchment and Yanni Gord. And I don't know what was really going on out there. He was kind of getting up in Marchment's shit a little bit. Marchment wasn't taking that. And then they were like jostling around a little bit. When the ref got in there, Yanni kind of threw a bit of a sucker punch, to which Mason Marchment's like, "Well, I'm getting mine if you're getting yours," and like kind of went after him. And then I mean, there was some other stuff that had been kind of going on the whole night. Like, there was a lot of hits in this game. It's the way she goes. But yeah, so Marchment being very good at getting in other teams' heads, and this is why I would not want to play against them. It's like kind of like with Brad Marchand. Do I like what he does against my team? Hell fucking no, dude. I need to squash that rat every time it's on the ice. Would he be great on the team I root for? Absolutely. Hell yeah. I'd take him in a heartbeat. It's just everyone's got that guy. And it kind of seemed to get in their heads. He stomped on one of the guy's dicks on the ice. And pretty much what that does, it's gonna like create a weak spot and it's gonna snap right there. You pretty much just have to take it, go get a new one, I'd imagine. I had to laugh a little bit. I was also like, damn, bro, what you doing? But anyway, so all of that leads to the Blue Jackets being going down ice towards their offensive zone with just a few seconds left of it was 4-on-4 hockey because they both got penalized, with just a few seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. And the puck gets passed down near the red line, gets passed back up towards the top of the zone, and at that point, Marchment enters the view of the camera, enters the zone from the box. Puck passed right to him, shoots it in, does exactly what he needs to do. This man is on fire right now. This guy's like tripled his points. Okay, let's see. So before for Seattle in 29 games, he had 4 goals and 9 assists for 13 points. 29 games, 4 goals. For the Blue Jackets, he has played 9 games and has 8 goals. 8 goals for the Blue Jackets, not total for the season. He has 12 goals total for the season. And he has 3 assists for 11 points. He's tripled his goal count. And almost doubled his points since coming to the Blue Jackets in 9 games. 9 games. Sometimes it's not necessarily who you are, it's where you are. I don't know if that makes any sense because, like, I haven't been paying attention to Chinikov since he left, but, like, I'm hoping, everyone gets that change of scenery sometimes. And sometimes it works out really well. Really well. Sometimes it doesn't always pan out, but, it seems to, at least for the moment, be panning out. Also, Marchment is one of the few guys on the team that was coached by Bonus at one point, I believe. Or am I thinking of Monahan?
No, it's both.
Both. Okay. So yeah, that's also cool. He's got a little bit more familiarity coming to like a new team and all that. I mean, sure he knows the guys pretty well by now, but Voronkov got a nice rip in there. And then Kucherov with that glove side. I think I already talked about that one. Yeah, and then this has become the meta. This has been the thing to do here recently for teams is to pull the goalie. I'm about to say the word early. Sorry. Pull the goalie earlier and earlier. There are statistics that back this up. So the best time to do that, if you're going to do it, is at about the 5-minute mark now. It used to be the final 2 minutes. And I get that. I totally understand why. But the logic behind it, too, makes some sense. Because, I mean, I've seen him do that with the Blue Jackets the other night. If you're going to get scored on anyway on the empty net, at least now you have time to try to come back and make that up, I guess. But it's giving you the best chance at the most attackers on ice. You just have to keep the puck. So anyway, Sean Monahan got an empty net goal. Then Jake Gensel made it 7-5. And Mason Marchment ended up getting his hat trick empty net goal to finish the game 8-5 in the last 25 seconds of the game. Absolutely sick. Love to see it. 3 stars of the game. We had Mason Marchment at number 1, of course. 3 goals, 1 assist, and 4 points. Charlie Coyle, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points, and Adam Fantilli coming in at number 3 with 1 goal, 2 points, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 3 points as well. Pretty solid overall. The faceoffs definitely need worked on. Power play was even this game, so I love to see that from the guys out there. But yeah, definitely a couple of things that could have been shored up here. You know, you could have really pushed this to like a 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 if you shut down some more shots, stay out of the penalty box a little bit, and don't mess with Matthew Olivier or Mason Marchment. I just wouldn't do it.
No.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah, who was it? So I forget who was the player that ended up cross-checking Olivier, kind of in the back.
Oh well, that was one of the
That was one of the rookies, right?
one of the rookies for Tampa Bay.
I just couldn't
And
remember.
honestly, that was just so ridiculously stupid. Like, what? First off, why are you doing that to begin with? Don't do that. But then, second of all, not only did you do that, which was stupid, but you did it against Matthew Olivier. Are you kidding me? Are you really that dumb? Are you really that stupid? Why are you going after Matthew Olivier? Don't do that. That's really stupid and idiotic. Very dumb. Very, very, very stupid and very dumb to do such a thing. Because you don't do that. Because Matthew Olivier is going to kick your ass. He's going to bring you down. Because that's what Matthew Olivier does. He can give you a goal or two, block a shot, give you some defense, but the dude is the best of the best when it comes to the toughness and the grit and the attitude and the fighting sort of thing for when it comes to hockey. He's 22-0. Like, why are you going after him? That was stupid and idiotic because now you're asking for it, and we see it. You see it watching the game. Matthew Olivier kind of had the look on your face like, hey, you little shit. I'm coming for your ass. I'm coming for you, boy. I'm coming for you, and I'm going to kick your ass. Why'd you do that? Now I'm pissed off. I'm going to come for you. I'm going to kick your ass. And the only reason that and he kept like trying to go after him and kind of like mouthing off. And the only reason it didn't happen is the ref was in the way. Otherwise, if the ref's not in the way, that guy's getting his ass kicked by Matthew Olivier because he made the really stupid, idiotic decision to go after Matthew Olivier. It's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. That was stupid of you to go after Matthew Olivier because it's not going to go well for you. So just stop.
It almost looked like, too, that when he cross-checked Olivier, he maybe didn't realize who it was at first. Because, I mean, he seemed to be running away pretty quick. That was kind of humorous. Yeah, overall, man, pretty decent game, pretty decent win. There's one thing about the game I want to talk about, and that is when you start to look at the box score and you see things like Dmitry Voronkov, 13 minutes, 8 seconds time on ice. Sean Monahan, 14 minutes, 26 seconds on the ice. Boone Jenner, 12 minutes, 46. Dude, these are guys who normally play like 20 minutes a night. I mean, Kent Johnson, 13 minutes, 12 seconds. Like, that's about average for him in the last little while. But Boone Jenner at 12 minutes, I wonder if something was bugging him, like a little injury or something. Because like I just don't feel like you sit Boone Jenner for that long. I mean, obviously the Blue Jackets won. There's not much I can argue with that. But you know, that's a little less time. You're seeing a little bit more time for Fantilli, Marchment, Coyle. They were out there the most of anyone. Olivier is getting a few more minutes too, and I think that's showing, especially in that game. I think that was important for him to be out there and for Mason Marchment to be out there for as many shifts as they were. But yeah, the other person who got the least amount of minutes, like damn, I don't know if something happened here. I don't remember. It was Jake Christensen. He had 5 minutes and 34 seconds. He had 10 shifts, 5 minutes and 34 seconds. That's rough. I mean, if I only got to play 5.5 minutes of a game, I almost rather just be healthy scratched. At least then I can eat during the game. Yeah, I mean, that's just not very many at all. Anyway, Jack Greaves ended up with an .833 save percentage. Not the greatest. Kind of rough there. But, yeah, Mason Marchment being the man. I forgot to mention earlier about the Dallas Stars game. That's the first shutout of the year, I believe, for the Blue Jackets. And that's the third career shutout for Jack Greaves. So congrats to him on that. Congrats to Charlie Coyle for his 200th point. He just played his 1,000th game the game before this, and in this game he ended up getting his 200th point, I believe. Career goal number 200. 200 goals, not points. He probably has way more points than that. But congrats to you, Charlie Coyle. Love to see it. Love that it matches up so close with your 1,000th game. That's all I have about that for now. What do you think about the time on ice thing?
I'll pull that back. I think a lot of it kind of depends on the situation in the game, and it may just be like, hey, we're winning 8-5. We're up by 3 goals. Maybe we don't need to play Boone Jenner as much or some other guys. We can give ice time to someone else because we're up 3 goals. Whereas if you're only up like a goal or 2, it's probably a different story. But you're playing a good game there, minus giving up the 5 goals. You're playing a pretty good game there, and you scored 8 goals. So it's like, you know what? It will let some guys rest a little bit, and we'll give ice time to other people as well. And another thing to consider here is Rick Bowness is a new coach with the Blue Jackets. He doesn't know what it's like to work for the Blue Jackets. Outside of a couple guys here, he really doesn't know what the Blue Jackets have. So this is also like a feeling out process for him to try and figure out what the Blue Jackets have, and then figure out like how does he want to use these guys that the Blue Jackets have. Because, there's certain guys that played less under Dean Evison. There's certain guys that played more under Dean Evison, and certain guys that played somewhere in the middle, sometimes less, sometimes more. And it's going to be the same thing with, Rick Bowness, where kind of a small sample size here so far. They look good, but he's also trying to figure out what's going on here with the Blue Jackets and trying to see, like, what does he have, and then figure out, okay, how can I play these guys? I can play this guy less. I can play this guy more. I can play this guy somewhere in the middle. And I know I can play this guy in this situation if I need a goal, or if I need, someone that's more better defensively to block a shot, to win a face-off, get it out. Like, I can play this guy. I need a big goal. I need this. That's probably what it is too. He's also trying to figure out what's going on and what he has, and then figure out who he can play less, who he can play more, and so on and so forth.
Well, that's what I was bringing up earlier too with the faceoff percentage. Boone Jenner is one of their biggest faceoff guys. Monahan and Kent Johnson. I mean, I believe, like, and with Boone Jenner not being in there and their faceoff percentage being 39%, that's a little rough. I just wanted to check the other game real quick because I was curious on that as well. Oh yeah, no, it was regular minutes against Ottawa. Like it was how it normally was, with how Jenner and Monahan are getting top line minutes and whatnot. So kind of got switched around for that. Interesting. So, keep an eye out for more interesting like minutes or line changes because we know Dean Evison just seemed like he was just trying to just throw anything at the wall to make it stick before he ended up ultimately getting canned. It just looked like he was just, trying whatever. He was throwing out some random ass lines at some odd times. So maybe we're seeing a slight correction of that. So it's just not what we're used to seeing. Like you were basically just saying that.
Yeah. I also think that, some of that was Dean Evans. Like, it's a little give and a little take. It's like you're not necessarily helping out Dean Evison at that point in time when he has these lines, and then you don't do anything. And then he does give him a chance for like a couple games, and then they don't do anything. And it's like, well, I have to find something because just keep doing the same thing doesn't work. So there's a little give and the take. And then you are right. There are some lines where Dean Evison did do, and you're like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on there and why you're doing that. So for now, at least for Rick Bowness, like he's trying to figure out what's going on and what he has and how he can play them more or less and what kind of lines he can do. And as of right now, what he's throwing out there is working. So it's giving him a reason to, stick with those lines and just keep going. If it doesn't work, then obviously you'll have to change. But obviously, as of right now, small sample size, but looks pretty good. So far the Blue Jackets have played 6 games under Rick Bowness, and they're 6-1. So, a little bit of both, a little give and a little take. It's kind of interesting to see how it's worked out so far.
Yeah. Can't wait to see how this kind of gets mixed up here yet. I remember last season it seemed like Olivier got quite a lot more minutes than he started the season getting. And I was always kind of like, I get that there's a time and place for him, but I thought he was doing pretty damn well. I mean, he was breaking his personal records all year last year. Yeah. So I'd like to see him maybe out there a bit more. Scary dude.
Yeah. So, all right, on to the next thing. We're talking a little bit about Mason Marchment, like we said, is that this is, of course, here's a picture of Mason Marchment from the game against Tampa Bay after the game, where he has the 3 pucks that he scored from the hat trick. And obviously he's holding one, Kirill Marchenko is holding one, and Adam Fantilli is holding one. So there's that. But Mason Marchment, what a guy. What a story he's been for the Blue Jackets. He's been so good for the Blue Jackets. He really has. Don Waddell has often said that when he was with Carolina, he tried to get him to go to Carolina. And for whatever reason, he just couldn't get it done. And then, of course, he's obviously the GM now for the Blue Jackets. And when he was available, he tried to get him out of Seattle, and it worked out this time. He got him. And, honestly, I could see why. I could see why Don Waddell tried to get him when he was with Carolina and why he eventually did get him with the Blue Jackets is because he has so much versatility. He has played up and down the lineup for the Blue Jackets. First line, second line minutes, and he's played some third line minutes. And anywhere he's played good. He's big. He's like 6'5", 200 plus pounds. And he's got a little toughness, a little grit, a little attitude. And he's good on offense too. Some of the plays that he's made, he's passed the puck to help set up a goal. It's like, wow, what an awesome pass. How did he do that? And then he can shoot the puck too. Some of the goals he scored with the Blue Jackets, it's like, wow, that's an awesome shot. How did he do that? Great shot. He just blew it past the goalie. How did he do that? It's the sort of thing. Two of the 3 goals that he scored against the Lightning, it was just awesome shots. He just blows it by the goalie where they had no chance. Like, wow, awesome shot. How did he do that? Just that good. But most importantly, he's really shined on the first line with Adam Fantilli and Kirill Marchenko. Just been so good. And that is a thing that has allowed the Blue Jackets to spread things out to where they have more balanced lines. Because the thing is, for a good chunk of this season, the Blue Jackets have really only had like one good line, maybe 2. And that's okay to have for like a game or 2, but over the season, that's not good enough, because essentially what's going to happen is that you are putting so much pressure on that one line to where they always have to be good. And that's just not fair or realistic, because sometimes they're just not going to have a good game. It's just not going to be not their night. And you need other lines to pick it up and get some goals and play good. And that wasn't always happening. But now you have a guy like a Mason Marchment that's there. He's played really good with Kirill Marchenko and Adam Fantilli. You now have it to where you can spread things out and you have much more evenly balanced lines for the Blue Jackets, and they are benefiting from that a lot. It's so much better. Now you don't have to rely on one line. If they have an off night, it's okay. They can have a good game next game, and someone else will come through and get a big goal for the Blue Jackets, and that's what's happened in some of these games that the Blue Jackets have won. One line, they're not necessarily, they're having an okay game. Maybe they're not having a good game. Maybe it's not their night, but that's okay. Someone else will step in and get a big goal. And it's in part because they have Mason Marchment now, because he's been just, besides the hat trick, he's playing so good. And just what seems like just about every game he's played, he scored a goal. Big, physical, grit, attitude, 6'5", 200 plus pounds, hard to play against, block shots, so good offensively, even makes some good plays defensively. He's gotten some big goals for the Blue Jackets, and he's playing really good on the line with Kirill Marchenko and Adam Fantilli. So good, so fun to watch. So keep going, Mason Marchment. You're playing good, playing a good game for the Blue Jackets. So fun to watch. So keep going, and interested to see how you build on this. So keep going, Mason Marchment. You're playing a good game for the Blue Jackets. So fun to watch. And it's looking like it's a good trade so far.
Yeah, time will tell, who wins this trade, so to speak. But, for what the Blue Jackets got him for, it's just a steal.
Yeah.
And so far, so good. Quality pickup. Same thing with Rick Bowness. Sometimes these mix-ups like this can really rock the boat and change the direction of the team, which is what needed to happen. It's exactly what needed to happen. Don Waddell knew it. The fans knew it. 19-19-7 is not the worst record to ever have in the world, but it was going to get the Blue Jackets in the exact same spot they were last year, and that is just not good enough. So, looking at these guys he's been picking up, looking at the new coach now, I'm not opposed to what Don Waddell is doing. I think that this was a very quality pickup, and maybe he was just relieved to get the hell out of Seattle. You never know. Who knows what's going on behind closed doors all the time? You just don't. I mean, we saw that with some other players that have come and gone. You'll hear about shit like after they've gone, occasionally. But yeah, let me tell you what. 11 points, 9 games. He was a -4 before. He's a +6 since coming to the Blue Jackets. And what a beast! His average time on ice has gone up like over a full minute, giving him a little bit more time, a little bit more whatnot. So he was only at Seattle for from the beginning of this year and he's only played 29 games for them. So he was pretty new to that team too, but we'll see. And if things maybe sour or don't seem to be working out, well, there's trade deadline is looming here in just over a month. I think it's March, right?
Yep, it's March.
Yeah. So pretty interesting, pretty awesome guy.
All right. So next up, we got a goal and a hit from Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith. We're going to start off with the goal here, and this is always just a perfect example on why you shoot the puck when you're in the offensive zone. Either you score, someone scores off a rebound, it's a deflection, it goes in. So many things. It's just better to shoot the puck, put the puck on the net. We're going to play the goal here, and it's Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith, who is a defenseman that plays at Penn State, and he's going to get the puck up high by the point. He's going to shoot and score. Like, this is why you shoot the puck when you're in the offensive zone. Put the puck on the net. Never know what's going to happen. Good chance you're going to score, even if you're up high by the point in which Jackson Smith is. So, like, he's way up there, and then it squeaks through. So, always shoot the puck. So, Hefty Duck, do you had anything to say here?
Oh, not too much other than a very nice shot. And I just always notice stats almost instantly. It's interesting here that Wisconsin has 36 shots on goal and only has 2 goals,
Yep.
and Penn State has 22 and has 4 goals. That was the 4th goal. So,
Yep.
What a snipe! Pretty slick.
All right. So next up, Jackson Smith in a previous game against Notre Dame had a big hit, and we're going to play that hit because this is what Jackson Smith is. He was seen when the Blue Jackets got him with the 14th pick in the NHL draft. Jackson Smith was seen as a guy that should have gone top 10, but didn't, and instead the Blue Jackets got him at 14. And he's a guy that's big, 6'4", over 200 plus pounds. Physical, he can really skate, and we've shown on the show he's got a booming slap shot. He can really shoot it if you give him that chance, which is why he was seen as one of the top defenseman prospects in the draft, and was seen as, the Blue Jackets may have gotten a steal there at the draft at 14, and is also seen as now basically the best defenseman prospect that the Blue Jackets have. So anyways, we're going to play this hit that Jackson Smith had against Penn State. So we'll put this up on the screen here.
At first, I think
Turn the audio off here. So, here we go. We're going to play it, and a couple times, then if we got something to say, we'll say about it. Nice big hit. So, good hit by Jackson Smith. So, anything to say here, Hefty Duck?
No, it does look to it. It's pretty good for him to keep his stick down where he was, like right on the shoulder there.
Yeah.
Not that it matters too terribly much. The college hockey has the fishbowl helmets. But yeah, nice hit. Love to see it, especially against the team wearing them shiny gold helmets. Those things. Every time I see you bitch about it, you know it.
No. Notre Dame is doing what the football team does, has those shiny yellow, those shiny gold helmets. So that's essentially what they're doing. Penn State is the same thing. It's basically, their helmet is a little tribute to the football team because that's basically kind of like what the football teams wear, is a white helmet with a blue line.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, Ohio State does that too. Their hockey helmets are just like the football helmets were, and it's got like.
I'll be right back in 1 minute, Kev. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'll be right back in 1 minute.
All right, then. But as I was saying, Ohio State does have the hockey helmets. Ohio State hockey does, well, the men's team at least has football helmets, and it's got the Buckeye leaves on it. Ohio State women's hockey team, for some reason, does not have the football helmets with the Buckeye leaves like the men's team does. I don't get that or understand that. I think they should, but that's just my opinion. That is besides the point. Sticking with Penn State, talked about this on the show last week, but Penn State is getting an outdoor hockey game. And I think this is really cool. And Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith, who plays for Penn State, will be playing there, as well as Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom, who plays for Michigan State, will also be playing there because Penn State will be playing Michigan State in their outdoor game. And this is really cool. So, kind of want Ohio State. Yeah, real good sightlines here if you sit in the upper deck, which, again, we've said this on the show before, if you go to an outdoor hockey game, you need to sit up high because sitting down low, the sightlines are not going to be very good because these football stadiums and baseball stadiums where these outdoor hockey games are not meant for sitting down low. You're not going to see as much. It's not going to be very good. You need to sit up high. So, because I see that time and time again where people that go to these outdoor hockey games and they sit down low and then they complain that they have a hard time seeing stuff. Oh, I can't see this. I can't see that. Well, that's your problem. You made the decision to sit down low for an outdoor hockey game. Not necessarily a good idea. It's harder to see stuff. If you're at an outdoor hockey game, you need to sit up high so that you can see everything. So, like, if you had these particular seats that I have up on the screen that from this video, these would be the perfect seats to sit at for an outdoor hockey game because you can see everything. Good sight lines. But
yeah, you might be a little bit further away, but just being able to see the entire ice is a big plus.
It is. It really is. You need to sit up high if you have tickets to an outdoor hockey game. You just do. Like when I had my tickets to the Blue Jackets outdoor game, I sat up high. I was just to the left of center ice, about, like 5-10 rows up. And it was perfect seats. I could see everything. And then I'd see some of the seats that people had sitting down low. And it's like, yeah, you can't really see anything down there. It's kind of hard. But is it still a good seat? Yeah, just not as good because it's kind of hard to see stuff down low. And at that point, if you have tickets where you're sitting down low, you're just kind of there for the experience and say, yeah, I was at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. Whereas if you sat up high, you can see everything better. That's just how it is. Blue Jacket, like I said, Hefty Duck, you weren't here while you left, but I'll say it again.
Oh, I could hear you.
Oh, you heard me? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I'll say it again. Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith, playing for Penn State. He's going to play in this game. And Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom, who plays for Michigan State, will also be playing in this game because Penn State will be playing Michigan State. So that's going to be pretty cool. Also, I'm just a big fan of outdoor hockey games in general. I just like that. And, I would like eventually Ohio State to have their own version of an outdoor hockey game at the Shoe, just like the Blue Jackets had. I think that would be cool. But they don't seem very interested in that or just putting effort in hockey, generally speaking, as the women's hockey team. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish it'd be better, but we got to be honest.
They did the outdoor hockey game up in Cleveland, but it's Cleveland. You're Ohio State.
Yes.
It just makes more sense to do it there. And I feel like now that the Blue Jackets have, I feel like it's just a matter of time.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the thing, is like, come on now. The Blue Jackets did it. Did you not see how awesome that was? 94,000 plus people there, set an attendance record for second highest attended hockey game outside ever. It set new TV ratings. It was really good. The best of the best. Elite. The world got to see what an awesome place Columbus is. They got to see, to a certain extent, what Ohio State is about. Oh, what's that? Oh, Ohio State football stadium. Oh, that's cool. Oh, the Blue Jackets. Oh, that's cool. They got to see that. They got to see what Columbus is about. They got to see a little bit about Ohio State. They got to see the Blue Jackets. The world got to see a lot of cool stuff. The Blue Jackets outdoor game was one of the greatest moments of my life, one of the greatest sporting events I've ever been to. It was that cool. Like, come on now, Ohio State. Did you not see how cool that was? How awesome that was? Let's get with the program here. Enough of this, Cleveland shenanigans. Well, we'll have an outdoor game, but it's in Cleveland. Like, no. Put one in the Shoe. Just like what the Blue Jackets did. It was awesome. Like, come on now. Get with the program here. I'm just going to say it, You're falling behind your Big Ten competition, Ohio State. You are. Because I look at every other Big Ten school. I see them putting more effort into their hockey programs. They're getting better results. They're getting better players, which means they're getting more NCAA tournament appearances, Frozen Four appearances. They're winning the Big Ten, national championships. And then the top players, the best of the best, the Johnny Gaudreau, Zach Werenski, Adam Fantilli type of players see that and go, hey, I want to go to that school. They're going to develop me correctly. I'm going to go win the Big Ten. I'm going to go to the NCAA tournament. I'm going to go to the Frozen Four. I can win a national championship. I could go win a Hobie Baker like Adam Fantilli did. Oh, look, they get to play in outdoor games. That's cool. That's what happens when you put more effort into your hockey program. You get rewarded, and then the better players want to come. I see it with Minnesota. I see it with Wisconsin. I see it with Michigan State. I see it with Michigan. I'm seeing it with Penn State. Penn State used to be a school that was just a football school. That was it. That was what they're mostly known for. Hockey, you weren't going there for hockey. You were good at hockey. No way you're going to Penn State. You're not. But now, the good players are going to Penn State. They put effort into their program. They got a new hockey rink. It's awesome. It's one of the best in college hockey, not just in the Big Ten. They're getting better players, better coaches. They're just coming off a trip to the Frozen Four, and they get rewarded by getting better players. Gavin McKenna, who is seen as the guy that is probably going to go number one in this upcoming draft for hockey, and Jackson Smith, who is seen as one of the top defenseman prospects, picked Penn State because good players see what's going on. They see it. That there's a team that they're consistently good, or you know what? Maybe that historically they're not very good, but they're putting effort to be better, getting better facilities, which means more money, better players, better coaches. You go to the Frozen Four, maybe you win a national championship. You have outdoor games like this. Teams see this. So I look at every team in the Big Ten, they're doing this, except for Ohio State. I look at them, and I'm like, oh, they're not doing any of that. The women's team, who've played in 4 national championship games, they've won 2 of them. Are they getting rewarded? Nope. Ohio State is basically spitting in their face and saying, screw you, go play in a pee-wee rink. Let's look at the men. You know, more recently, they've had some good seasons here. 2018, they made a run to the Frozen Four, the first time they did that since the 90s. And then the following year, 2019, Ohio State won the Big Ten. And then they've made the NCAA tournament multiple times after that. It's like they've had some, decent to good teams here. Are they rewarded? Nope. Ohio State spits in their face and says, screw you, you get to play in the shot, which is terrible. It's made for basketball, not made for hockey. So you're not helping. So that's why I say you're falling behind your Big Ten competition, Ohio State. You're falling behind. That's why when, you played a 2-game series against Michigan this season, and you got smoked by a combined score of 13-3. It's very sad and disappointing that happened. I don't like it, but I'm not surprised, because when you don't put effort into it and you play the big dogs like Michigan, that kind of result where you get smoked by a combined score of 13-3, yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. It's sad, but I'm not disappointed. And, I said earlier on in the show, they split their series with Notre Dame, but they shouldn't have lost the second one, because Notre Dame, they are going into that game, they were 0-13 in the Big Ten. 0-13. Come on now, Ohio State. I know that you're kind of average at best, and historically you don't care about hockey, but you shouldn't be you're good enough to the point where you shouldn't be losing to a team that's 0-13 in the Big Ten this season. No. I say this from a point of constructive criticism. If you've watched the show, you know that I have an Ohio State flag in the background. Like, look, Ohio State flag in the background. It's right here. I'm saying this constructive criticism. Like, I want you to be better. I want you to stop just being a football school. Stop. Be good at hockey. Be good at, put effort there like you do with the women. I want to see an outdoor game at the Shoe for Ohio State, just like the Blue Jackets did. That's what I want. But That's not going to happen because we got to be honest with ourselves here. Ohio State doesn't really care about hockey. So I hope you enjoyed the outdoor game that the Blue Jackets had at the shoe, because that's the only way that the Blue Jackets that's the only way that just Columbus in general will ever get another outdoor hockey game in Columbus. It will be because of the Blue Jackets, not Ohio State, because the unfortunate reality is Ohio State can't be bothered to pay attention to hockey. That's the unfortunate reality. That's just how it is. So we're only going to get another outdoor hockey game because of the Blue Jackets. I think it'd be cool if we could be like, if Ohio State could be like Penn State and have an outdoor hockey game at the shoe, but like the Blue Jackets did, but that's not happening. So, oh well, it is what it is. I've accepted the fact that Columbus will only get an outdoor hockey game again because of the Blue Jackets. So that's kind of where I'm at. Kind of on a little rant here. So, Hefty Duck, if you have anything to say here.
I do not.
All right.
I haven't said already.
All right then. Well, kind of continuing on this little, theme here. Let's see here. So, put this up on the screen. So this is what I mean. This is constructive criticism. When I put this up on the screen here. So, we'll play the video. This is where Notre Dame plays. Looks pretty damn cool to me, like a real good college rink. Like they put the time and effort to get a better rink. Kind of wish Ohio State had something like that, but they have the shot, which is terrible. Look at this. This is just an awesome place for a hockey game. Instead, Ohio State, Ohio State be like, screw you, hockey team. You get to play in the shot, which is a basketball arena. And, not meant for hockey, and it's, way too big. Kind of be cool if Ohio State, if you cared about hockey and, if you had a cool little rink like Notre Dame does, or every other Big Ten school. That's just me there. Anything to say here, Hefty Duck?
I don't know. It's a nice arena.
Yeah.
Would be nice. And that's Notre Dame. And they're 0-13 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
They could do better.
Last thing I'm going to say about this, Ohio State in general. No, actually, two more things. I've talked about this on the show before, but this is what I like. This is a give and a take. And we'll put this up on the screen. When Ohio State women's hockey scores a goal, they play the Ohio State fight song, like you should at a college event. But when Ohio State men's hockey scores a goal, they don't do that. They rip off the Rangers' goal horn. And I hate that, and I never got that. That is so stupid and idiotic. Ohio State, you have a really good band. You call it the best damn band in the land. And yet you don't use it for the men's hockey team when they score a goal. But you'll use it for when the women's team scores a goal. Come on now. It should be both. Ohio State hockey, the men's hockey, should score. When they score a goal, should play the fight song and not rip off the Rangers' goal horn. So, example, here's a video. Ohio State women's hockey team scoring a goal. And what do you know? The fight song plays. Just saying. Like, come on. If you can do that for the women, Ohio State men's hockey should have the band play their fight song when they score a goal instead of ripping off the Rangers' goal horn. And the thing is, I've been to 3 Ohio State hockey games, and they're fun. And they have the band. The band is there at the game, and the band is playing music during the game, except for when Ohio State men's hockey scores a goal. Why? I do not understand this. That is stupid and idiotic. You have the band. The band is literally right there at the game, and you don't have them play a goal. Play the fight song when they score a goal for the men. I do not get that. That's stupid and idiotic. You should have them play the fight song instead of ripping off the Rangers' goal horn. And Ohio State men's hockey should be like Ohio State women's hockey team right here and play the fight song when they score a goal.
I just think every sport from Columbus should, as much as possible, because especially when hockey season is, I would understand not maybe wanting to cross over with football season or something, but you wouldn't have to.
No.
You could also send like a smaller section of a band, like a little pep band type thing. It's not the full marching band, obviously. It'd be blow everyone's eardrums out there, I'm sure. But it'd be pretty cool to see.
No. And last thing in regards to Ohio State for today that I'm going to say is that I know more about Ohio State hockey because of the Blue Jackets. It should not be like that, because the Blue Jackets have gone out of their way to promote Ohio State hockey more than Ohio State has. And good on you, Blue Jackets, for doing that, showing support for Ohio State hockey. That's cool. I like it. But at the same time, you should not be doing it. That's not your main thing. You are here to promote the Blue Jackets, not Ohio State hockey. Like Ohio State hockey, that should be your job to promote the hockey teams that you have, not the Blue Jackets. Like, I know more about Ohio State hockey because of the Blue Jackets. So, like, good on you, Blue Jackets, for doing that, but that should not be the thing. You should not have to be doing that. I should know more about Ohio State hockey because of Ohio State, not because of the Blue Jackets. Anything? If you'd like, yes, no.
Sorry, no, I'm very sorry. I was not paying attention for just a minute.
Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is, like, I know more about Ohio State hockey because of the Blue Jackets, not Ohio State. And it's like, good on you, Ohio Blue Jackets, for doing that. But you shouldn't be. That's not your job, Blue Jackets. Like Ohio State, that should be your job to promote your teams, not the Blue Jackets. Like, the Blue Jackets have had multiple Ohio State nights, and they've had like the women's hockey team over, and the women's hockey team was at the Blue Jackets outdoor game last season, and they've been at Blue Jackets development camps. Like, the Blue Jackets, they're doing all this stuff to help promote Ohio State hockey, which is cool, but it's like, you shouldn't have to be doing that. That's Ohio State's job, and they're not really doing that. Like, I know more about Ohio State hockey because of the Blue Jackets promoting them compared to Ohio State. Like, Ohio State, you should be doing that, not the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, I get that. It just feels like there's no real marketing that way. All the money spent for football.
I know, I get it. You're good at football, and that's the moneymaker and everything. But like, there's other, you can put effort into other sports. Other schools do that. Because to tell you the truth, I probably wouldn't know. I'd probably know nothing about Ohio State hockey if it wasn't for the Blue Jackets.
Yep.
I mean, because that's kind of why I kind of got into seeing, what to a certain degree, what's going on with Ohio State hockey because of the Blue Jackets. they have them at a game or something. They're doing this, they're doing that. Oh, wonder what's going on. Oh, I'll check Twitter or something. Without the Blue Jackets, no, because I wouldn't know anything because Ohio State, for whatever reason, doesn't seem interested in promoting them, but the Blue Jackets do.
Yep.
All right. Continue with the whole Big Ten thing. We're just quickly going back to Penn State for a little bit. So because Penn State is getting an outdoor game, Penn State is having a little fun practicing outside. And here we have Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith practicing outside, giving his team a little hug, and I'm assuming it was a good play. So, good picture. So, anything to say, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Let me check my bookmarks to see if I have anything else here. Oh, yeah, we do. So, of course, Ohio has been getting a lot of snow recently. And, the Blue Jackets having a little fun with the whole snow and making a joke out of it in a silly way. Of course, like a normal snow chart, depending on the color, that determines how much snow you're going to get. And, of course, the Blue Jackets having a little fun with that, because they scored 8 goals against the Lightning, and there's a goal light on the screen, and it's basically, saying how many goals are they going to get, and they obviously got 8, so the goal light is by the 8 to 12 category on the map. So the Blue Jackets having a little fun with the snow that is happening in Ohio, and it's a lot. So fun meme.
Hell yeah, pretty funny. I was going to point that out earlier, how they went from a 1 goal game, 1 goal in the entire game, to like a 13 goal game. It's like, do you guys know how to like maybe make it in the middle somewhere?
Yeah. Let's see here. And I'll put this one. This is, of course, the NHL posted this graphic when Mason Marchment got his hat trick. So that's cool. So I like this.
Hell yeah, pretty cool.
As a designer yourself, Hefty Duck, do you have anything to say?
Not really. You can tell if it's done professionally. It looks real good.
Yeah. All right, then. Again, I'm going to quickly check through my bookmarks to see if I have, anything else to share. You know what? I do. We're going to put this up on the screen. Yes. So, of course, Skyline Chili, a Ohio classic, an institution, mostly in Cincinnati, because that's where it's mostly known from. But they have restaurants all over Ohio, and you can get their stuff at Blue Jackets games, from cheese conies, so like the chili cheese hot dog with the meat, the chili, the cheese, and like a jumbo hot dog with the chili and the cheese, which is really good, and I've had that in the cheese conies. You can also get the chili cheese fries from Skyline Chili and the Skyline Chili nachos, which are also good. And, of course, Sarah Kent, this is from her Twitter page, went to the Blue Jackets game against the Lightning and of course, had to get these Skyline Chili nachos at the Blue Jackets game, which is awesome. And in true Skyline Chili fashion, they load up on the cheese, which is just awesome. And there are many reasons why Skyline Chili is awesome, but one of the reasons that stands out is they use a lot of cheese, and that's just awesome. So, of course, when they get the Skyline Chili nachos, they get a lot of cheese.
Yeah. But I think from Twitter lore or whatever, I believe Sarah Kent is a known shredded cheese enjoyer.
Yes, yes. And I don't blame
Had to
her
reference Twitter lore there. Oh my god.
because,
Go give her a follow. She posts some awesome Blue Jacket stuff all the time.
yeah.
And if because like I personally, I'm not on like tons of other social medias, so sometimes like the repost over here are actually kind of nice. Otherwise, I would never see them.
Right?
Hell yeah.
The nachos, okay, I'll say this. I haven't had them at the Blue Jackets game, but I have had them at the restaurant and at the Skyline Chili restaurant. Oh, they are just awesome. They're just so good. And last summer when I was in Cincinnati, I made a stop at Skyline, multiple stops at Skyline Chili when I was in Cincinnati. And I asked, "Oh, do you still have the Skyline Chili nachos?" Like, no, we don't have that. That was like a limited time offer thing. It's like, oh, damn. That was so disappointing. So I got like a baked potato with the chili and cheese on it, like a side salad to go with the three-way, which is the spaghetti, cheese, and meat. But God, it's so good. Oh, why can't Skyline Chili be in Illinois? It's just not. The closest one is like 6 hours away in Cincinnati. Oh, well. God bless you, Skyline Chili. I love it. You are so damn good. So good. And just love getting Skyline Chili at Blue Jackets games. Man, one of these days I'm going to have to try the Skyline Chili nachos at a Blue Jackets game. Because I normally just get the cheese conies or like the jumbo hot dog with like the meat and the chili and the cheese from Skyline Chili. So just so good stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to share that. So shout out to you, Skyline Chili. I love you. You're so good. But anyways, I'll put that off the screen. Going to check the bookmarks one last time before we get out of here, and then we'll say our stuff. So let's see here. I'm gonna check the bookmarks. Let's see here. No. Yeah. You know what? I'll quickly put this up and then we'll be done. So this past Friday, Ohio State hockey had for the women's hockey team, they had a game, and the giveaway was a hockey jersey koozie, and I like that, and it looks really cool.
That's pretty awesome. I could definitely use one of those.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Like,
the other thing that's kind of funny about that is like that's for a bottle. It's a bottle koozie.
Yeah.
They don't sell bottles at games.
Well, maybe like a water bottle, you know?
I guess. It doesn't have to be a beer.
Yeah. So when I saw that on Twitter, like, yep, that's cool. I have to show that on the show. So that's cool. Ohio State women's hockey had a hockey jersey koozie giveaway at a game. So that was cool. That was cool. All right, then. So Hefty Duck and I are going to say our stuff, and then we're going to get out of here. So we'll start off with Hefty Duck.
Well, just remember to like, share, subscribe wherever you're watching from. We don't run ads. We're not sponsored. So the best way to help us out is just to simply share our stuff, like our stuff. Just give it a watch. Give it a listen. If you do want to listen to us, we are on Spotify, Google, Apple, YouTube, anywhere that there's audio podcasts, we are there. Look us up at the Brew Jackets. I'm having a brain fart so bad right now. But yeah, that being said, check me out on social media. I'm at Lance Schrock Tattoos on Instagram. Feel free to check out some of my artwork over there. I've done some pretty cool tattoos this year so far, and got a bunch more fun ones coming up. There is a tattoo convention coming up here in February. It's going to be February 20th through the 22nd. So if you are in the Cleveland area, stop by, check it out, come say hi. We can come get a tattoo. It'll be a fun time. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, as I always do, got to give a shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc, the best of the best. What a guy. Life of the party, so fun to be with. Always good to see you at the family get-togethers like birthday parties and holidays like, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and so much more. Wish you're still here, but you unfortunately died in September 2024. Love talking hockey with you. You were a big Blackhawks guy, but, the Blue Jackets became your second favorite team. And I appreciate that, and I love talking hockey with you. And you would tell me on how you think the Blackhawks are doing, and I would tell you on how I think the Blue Jackets are doing. So you were loved by your family and friends and missed by your family and friends so much, including me, and I wish you're still here. So shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. I wish you're still here so I could talk hockey with you. So you could share your thoughts about how you think the Blackhawks are doing, and I could share my thoughts on how I think the Blue Jackets are doing. So, anyways, shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc, the best of the best. Thank you for everything.
Rest in peace, Uncle Doc.
Okay. Our next show is going to be next week, either, to be determined a Sunday or a Monday. That will be determined. Either next Sunday or Monday. Hefty Duck and I are going to have to figure that one out. So
I can figure that out right now.
Well, they don't play, the Blue Jackets don't play on a Sunday, but I know you kind of like doing Monday shows. And
if they don't play on Monday, we'll do Monday.
All right. Well, there you go. Okay. What do you know? I was going to say we'll figure it out after the show, but you know what? That didn't happen. Hefty Duck and I, we figured it out on the show. So
live on air.
Live on air. We figured out what our next show is. Live on air. We figured out what our next show is. But anyways, the next show that we will be doing will be Monday, February 2nd, 2026 at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, one last time, our next show will be Monday, February 2nd, 2026 at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time. One last thing for me, as always, don't forget to check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed fan group that I run. We do a lot of fun stuff like, marches that bring Blue Jackets fans together. And we've been on TV like ABC 6 News, Clay Hall, 10 TV, Adam King, NBC 4, Whitney Harding. The Blue Jackets have participated in our marches in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Stinger has been to our marches, helping us lead the chants of CBJ, Let's Go Jackets. You go to a Blue Jackets game, and Stinger's there with his drum, leading the crowd with CBJ and Let's Go Jackets chants, and that's what Stinger has done with our marches. Is he's helped lead our march with CBJ and Let's Go Jackets chants. The people who throw the T-shirts into the crowd at Blue Jackets games have also showed up. The marches that Union Blue Soldiers does have been featured in the Columbus Dispatch, and it's been talked about in 97.1 The Fan. If you've been to a Blue Jackets game within the last 6-7 years, you've seen clips of the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does on the scoreboard at a Blue Jackets game. So, check out the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does. It's for every Blue Jackets home opener, and if the Blue Jackets make the playoffs, we do a march. It's a fun time, and a great way to be with your fellow Blue Jackets fans to cheer on the Blue Jackets. So, one last time, check out Union Blue Soldiers. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. So, that's it for me for now. And Hefty Duck and I, we've said our stuff. So, we're going to get out of here.
Hell yeah. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We will see you once again next week on Monday. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Whoops. I almost left the studio instead of ending it that time. All right. See you guys.